Welcome back, Happy Clams. Choosing happiness is the first step. When I started acting on that choice by practicing happiness skills, I allowed myself to enjoy more of my own innate happiness. However, when I started feeling more joyful, painful feelings like guilt and shame started showing up too. This made me ask myself, is pursuing happiness selfish? One reason I think it feels selfish to be happy is that when I prioritize my own happiness, it feels like I'm going against the norms of the society I grew up in, and like I'm going against the way I was raised. I was always taught to share my toys, so when I don't share them, I feel guilty. I also think my internal peaceful happiness makes me feel selfish because I can't take others along with me on this brilliant ride. It's like I got a new toy that I can share, sort of, in a way, but not directly. I love my shiny new happiness, but sometimes it just feels lousy that I can only truly enjoy it all by myself. It just feels wrong to me to hog up all the happiness. So, I did some research into the topic, and I quickly learned that science knows that it is indeed not selfish to seek happiness. Reaching for my passions and joys just happens to be the most generous thing I can do because 1, my happiness benefits me, 2, it helps others, and 3, my happiness supports my entire community. So, first, how does being happier help me? Well, remember this? Many studies have looked at the benefits of being happy. They show that happier folks tend to have more gumption, more get up and go. They also enjoy more fulfilling and satisfying personal relationships. Happy people have been shown to be less likely to require professional mental health care, and they have more disease-fighting potency in their immune system. Science shows that happy people live longer, tend to be more helpful, and are more socially adept. Finally, several studies show that happier people are more productive in whatever career or work they pursue. 2. How does my happiness help others? Happiness, like all emotions, is highly contagious. Positive and negative people can drastically change our mood just by being near us. Which guest would you prefer at your dinner table? A jovial, joyful person or a cranky curmudgeon who's always complaining? 3rd, how does my happiness benefit the larger community? Well, happier people have been shown to volunteer more, donate more generously, and are more active in their communities. They're more empathetic, more interested in social problems, and more inclined to help out whenever they can, benefiting all of society. Okay, quick quiz. Why did the happy clam hide her toys from her lobster friends? Because she was a little shellfish. The truth is that selfishness is a very relative term. Is it selfish for me to want to eat, to want to be clean, to want to breathe fresh air, to want to love? Is it selfish to seek happiness? Even though being happy can feel selfish, I now know it's not. So, when those feelings of shame and guilt come up, I simply acknowledge the feelings are there, and then I happily push right through them. Some might ask me, how can you feel happy when there's so much disaster and horror in the world, like earthquakes, famines, wars, persecution, and hate? Well, what I try to remember is that I can't control others or world events. I can only control my own attitudes and my own actions. If I'm too focused on the suffering of others, I won't be much good for me or anyone else. Studies also show that those who achieve a sense of peace and happiness in their own lives by selfishly pursuing it are less prejudiced towards others. When I feel satisfied in my own life, I'm less judgmental of others and less likely to look for faults in them. Being happy makes me want to relish my life and leave others to live theirs. George Washington once suggested, happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. Robert Louis Stevenson said, there is no duty we so much underrate as the duty of being happy. Finally, Oscar Wilde said, some people cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. I try to be like the former, a cause of happiness, and I think we should all do the same. Think of how we treat a happy person in a small group. We may worry about the grouchier or pickier members of the group making waves, but not the happy ones. We trust that the happy guy won't take careless remarks personally, and everyone knows that that perky spark plug of a happy gal will be the last one to complain if dinner is late or if I happen to burn the biscuits. I think we should all appreciate the courage of the happier people in our lives. They have clearly chosen happiness and have taken real steps to pursue it, even if sometimes it makes them feel, well, a little guilty for being happier than their family, their co-workers, or their friends. Their choice to be happy and their follow-through not only benefits them, but it also benefits those close to them and their entire society. Their choice is certainly not selfish.
Choose happiness!